questions, no answers. Answers, no questions. The who's, what's, when's, and where's, plus the hows and the why's is there. Questions, no answers. Answers, no questions.
What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? Welcome back to another episode of Konvo with Kenny. I thank y'all if y'all been tapping in. Hopefully the topics and the questions are thought-provoking and making you all reevaluate some of the things we were taught. Once again, Konvo with Kenny, welcome back. This is episode 6. We are rolling season 1, episode 6. And the title of this episode of Konvo with Kenny is How Much Does Liberty Cost If Freedom is Free? Once again, episode 6. How much does liberty cost if freedom is free? Oftentimes, we think that those words are synonymous, freedom and liberty, but they are not. Hence the reason episode 6 title is How Much Does Liberty Cost If Freedom is Free? Yes, sir. So, we about to give y'all some food for thought on freedom versus liberty. Once again, we are speaking word art called English. We are speaking English. Therefore, there is some word art and trickery and legalese, which is why you need a lawyer in court, because words in English don't always mean what you think they mean. So, we are going to break down freedom and liberty. Episode 6. Here we go. Now, of course, as a child, I didn't really care about freedom or liberty, as long as I could go play. However, when I was a child, I thought as a child, I spake as a child. But when I became a man, I did away with childish things. But when I became a man and I took a trip to New York and actually looked at the Statue of Liberty, it dawned on me that it said the Statue of Liberty. So that always stuck with me. And further on, as I got older, I always paid attention to the two words, freedom and liberty. Just like I always paid attention to the two words, truth and facts. And I also paid attention to the two words, hearing and listening. And then I started paying attention to the two words, looking and seeing. So that's what made me kind of delve into etymology and words, especially English, and also the autobiography of Malcolm X when he read the whole dictionary. So I always admired that. So I didn't read the whole dictionary, but I did used to read the dictionary like a book, and I also would read the almanac. So with that being said, once I really investigated and did a deep dive into the words freedom and liberty, they're often used as if they mean the same, but they come from different traditions and have different philosophical meanings. And the clearest way that we can really break this down is that freedom is basically the ability to act without any restraint. Once again, freedom is the ability to act without any restraint. Freedom is about personal power and what you are free to do. With freedom, you have no internal or external restrictions. Once again, so when you're truly free, you have no internal or external restrictions. That's true freedom. So freedom is broad and freedom is natural and freedom is personal. So that's the English basic breakdown that you can get when it comes to freedom. Like, it's limitless. No internal or external restrictions. Whereas liberty, on the other hand, Liberty is freedom granted. Let's stop right there. Start off. Liberty is freedom granted and protected by society or law. So liberty is freedom that's granted, protected by society, or is protected by law. So liberty is freedom that's given to you. Liberty is about the social, political, or legal structures that allow you to exercise your freedom. So there's structure around the freedom with liberty. Liberty is about the social, political, or legal structures that allow you to exercise your freedom. Liberty is freedom within a system. Once again, liberty is freedom within a system. That's why it's liberty, because it's freedom within a system. Liberty is structured, liberty is legal, and liberty is collective. Once again, liberty is structured, so somebody has to structure it. Liberty is legal, so someone has to legalize it or illegalize it. And liberty is collective, so someone has to congregate together as a collective to decide what liberty is and what liberty is not. So freedom is basically, can I do it? And there's no internal or external restrictions to that answer. So there would be no right or wrong. But liberty is, am I legally or socially allowed to do it? So that means you have to check with the system or the structure or the politics or the laws that give you the liberty before you can do something. So freedom is natural. Liberty is formalized and protected by institutions. So freedom is of nature. Freedom is from above, the Heavenly Father. Liberty is formalized and protected by institutions of men, sinful men, evil men, fallen men. Give us all liberty. So they have become the liaisons or the middlemen to freedom that was given to us natural. So that's the basic difference. Freedom is the power of the individual. Liberty is the permission from society or law. Freedom is the power of the individual. Liberty is the permission from society or law. Freedom exists by nature. Liberty exists by agreement. Freedom exists by nature. Liberty exists by agreement. Freedom exists by nature. Liberty exists by agreement. So the Statue of Liberty and all things that it represents, all institutions, everything exists by agreement. So that's the difference between freedom and liberty. A person may have the freedom to think any thoughts they want, but they need liberty, that's legal protection, to express those thoughts publicly without punishment. So, freedom comes from Old English freedom, which is personal and independence. Freedom is the Old English etymology of freedom. Liberty comes from Latin libertas, which is the rights granted to citizens. Liberty comes from Latin Roman Empire libertas, rights granted to citizens. So freedom is the ability to act. Liberty is the socially protected right to act. Freedom is the ability to act. Liberty is the socially protected right to act. Freedom is the ability to act. Liberty is the socially protected right to act. So that is the difference between freedom and liberty. So I address the liberty and freedom in episode 2 on the Julius Quattro. But and once again, these are all topics that we can revisit again. If you want to be a guest on the show, come on the show. And we can dialogue about it. You can add on, we can build, you can give your perspectives. That's what it's about. Convo with Kenny. It's about just healthy convo. Let's converse. Let's build together. Let's come up with an understanding. 'Cause understanding is the best part. But first you gotta do the knowledge. And that's what this is about. We in season 1. So we probably wrap up probably at the end of the fourth quarter. We wrap up season 1. And I'll keep y'all posted on season 2. If you want to be a guest, feel free to DM me or email me at breadworknetwork@gmail.com. Or you can DM grindinstate.u, grinding.state.u, grinding.state.u on Instagram, or Kenny Breadwork on Facebook. Once again, you want to be a guest? Or matter of fact, if you have a topic that you want to bring to Convo with Kenny, feel free. DM me. But I won't know if there's no communication. So tap in. It's Kenny Breadwork, man. Episode 6 is now in the books. How much does liberty cost if freedom is free? Thank y'all for tuning in. It's Kenny Breadwork of the Breadwork Network. Work that subscribe button. It won't make your head hurt. We work for our bread so that our bread works for us. And that's something that me and you ain't got to discuss. Synagogue.
What's, when's, and where's, plus the hows and the whys is there. Questions, no answers. Answers, no questions. The who's, what's, when's, and where's, plus the hows and the whys is there. Questions, no answers. Answers, no questions.